Hello everyone, thanks for joining in again. Now the next section that we are going to look at is security as a business management tool. Now when we talk about the fundamental nature of security, we must define it as a business management instrument rather than a strictly technical IT endeavor. The primary objective here is the facilitation of reliable and protected information systems operations that directly bolster the overarching mission and the strategic goals of the enterprise. When security is correctly integrated into the corporate structure, its function is transformed into a vital component of the organizational success. Moving on to how security acts as a business enabler, because the primary objectives of a commercial entity is not the attainment of security for its own sake. Security measures must never obstruct core business processes. A sophisticated security function is characterized by its role as an enabler. Here you can see it acts as an enabler. It permits the confident adoption of innovative operational models and services. By providing the necessary safety mechanism, security allows organizations to implement remote working capabilities via VPN or deploying digital banking platforms, thereby expanding business reach without compromising integrity. Now, let's discuss protecting the bottom line. Here, the corporate focus on security is driven by the direct threat that potential risk was posed to revenue streams, institutional reputation, and the customer base. Operational expenses of significant magnitude, the compromise of proprietary trade secrets, and the imposition of several regulatory penalties are often the consequences of a single breach. The implementation of a robust security program is recognized as a prudent business practice through the systematic reduction of both the frequency and the severity of the financial losses. Next, no, we must consider ensuring strategic alignment. An environment that permits an organization to thrive while ensuring its survival is provided by well coordinated security efforts. A requirement for this success is the tight alignment of security functions with the broader business strategy, legal mandates, and the regulatory obligations of the company. We have been discussing this for a long time. So, here we have business goals or vision or whatever you have to call it, and the business goal is to, let's say, to reach here. Now security department also has some goals or visions or whatever you want to call it. Now security vision should also align with the business goals. Unless it aligns, security does not provide any real value addition to the business. Now, when security is successfully woven into the organizational culture and operational workflows, the achievement of the corporate mission or goals or vision or whatever you want to call it is realized through the support of security here rather than in spite of it. To put this into perspective, consider this scenario. A retail organization decides to transform from a traditional brick and mortar model to a fully integrated e-commerce platform. Instead of viewing security as a barrier, the management team utilizes it as a business enabler by implementing secure payment gateways and encrypted customer database. This strategic alignment allows the company to enter new markets while protecting its bottom line from the financial reputational damage associated with credit card fraud. Sure, this example, I can write it down. The example which we took is old business operating in brick and mortar model, which means we can say the old model wants to transform into a new model and they want to adopt new technology. How can they do it? They are providing encryption, new type of payment, and all of that. Now, if the business wants to protect its reputation, then they should have strong security controls in place. I hope you are able to get what I'm trying to say. Right? Now, let's test your knowledge, which this question is on the screen for you. You can manually take a pause to read the options. Now, I hope you are able to get to the right answer. Here, the correct answer is B. Because security as an enabler focuses on providing the safety framework that allows a business to embrace innovation and new service models with confidence. I hope you are able to get it. So, thank you so much. Now, let's discuss the executive reporting structure. The requirement for an autonomous security team is fundamental to the operational integrity of an organization. By positioning the security function independently of the standard hierarchical structure, the management of security is significantly enhanced. This independence minimizes the potential for internal political conflicts or cross departmental friction. The leadership of this team is ideally vested in a designated CISO or a Chief Information Security Officer. We have already saw the various roles within an organization in our earlier videos, and we also clarified who are the shareholders, board of directors, and C-suite people including CISO, CIO, and all of that. So I hope you are clear on that. Anyway, coming back to our topic, CISO maintains a direct reporting line to the senior management. While reporting structure vary based on the industry and scale, it is common for CISO to report to the CIO, the CEO, or directly to the board of directors. Here, you can see it over here on reporting lines. Okay. Now moving on to the CSO versus CISO dynamics. In large scale enterprises where both roles are present, a clear distinction is made. The CSO typically manages physical security and a broad spectrum of business risks, while the CISO focuses primarily on the information technology. Within this dynamic, the CISO is usually positioned to report directly to the CSO. Now let's look at treating security as a business issue. We have seen a significant shift as security evolves from a strictly technical concern into a core component of executive management. Historically, security was confined within the IT department and addressed solely as a technology problem. The elevation of security to the executive level ensures that the security objectives are woven into the fabric of the business processes, revenue generation, and regulatory compliance. The strategic placement ensures that the security function serves as a business enabler rather than an operational disruption. To put this into perspective, consider this scenario which I am going to explain. During a major merger and acquisition audit, it is discovered that the target company's IT director also serves as the acting CISO. Major company, and we have IT director also serving as CISO. This dual role creates a clear conflict of interest because the same person is responsible for both rapid system development and rapid system development plus rigorous security audit. All right. All right. I hope you are clear with this. Now, to align with governance best practices, the lead auditor recommends appointing an independent CISO. Here I am writing down independent CISO. Now, auditor recommends appointing an independent CISO reporting directly to the board, ensuring that the security requirements are not bypassed just to meet IT delivery deadline. Now, let's test your knowledge. The next question is on the screen, and like always, you can have a go at the question, read the options, come to a conclusion, and I would recommend note down what exactly you are thinking just to see whether my thinking matches with yours or not. You can manually take a pause. Now let's come to the answer. The correct answer is option B, because reporting to the CEO ensures that security serves as an independent oversight function that isn't compromised by the operational goals or speed of IT department. Now next, let's discuss strategic alignment. Strategic alignment means that an organizational security architecture and functions directly support its business drivers, goals, and missions. It also ensures compliance with all regulatory and legal requirements. Instead of treating security as a hurdle or a business blocker, strategic alignment ensures that security is built into the fabric of the company to serve as a business enabler. To successfully establish this alignment, you must begin by defining a security strategy that harmonizes with the overall corporate strategy and milestones. If you see, I'm again repeating this concept that business and security go hand in hand. Now, my drawing is very bad, so just ignore it. But security and business should go hand in hand. Those are not two separate. I think I'm repeating this for the 10th time. This is how important this concept is. You should make a tattoo of this to clear the exam or to perform good in your job. Anyway, ignore my drawing, you can laugh on it. Now, let's move on. A helpful analogy to understand is this is to view the business as a human body. The IT environment is the circulatory system that supports it, and the security is the immune system that protects the entire organism. If these three systems, business, IT, and security, fail to work together in a concerted effort, the organization will suffer from imbalances that leads to the increased risk and compromises. Ultimately, proper alignment ensures that a company achieves its missions thanks to the security rather than despite it. Moving on to the financial health. Sorry. Now, moving on to the financial health. Security is not just about locking doors. It is also about smart money making management. Because company have limited funds, every dollar spent on protection needs to be justified by the business value it provides. A basic rule is that you should never spend more to protect an item than the item itself is worth. Finding this balance ensures the security team stays within the budget while keeping the company safe from harm. To prove a security plan is working from the bottom line for the bottom line, experts use a formula called the return on security investment or ROSI. They start with annualized loss expectancy. They start with annualized loss expectancy, which is simply how much money the company expects to lose to a specific threat each year. Each year, because we are talking about annual. They calculate this loss first without protection and then again with a security tool installed. By comparing these numbers and subtracting the yearly cost of the tool, they can see the true financial impact. A positive result proves the tool is worth the price. To put this into perspective, imagine a company that runs an online store. Every time their website crashes due to a power failure, they lose about $10,000 in sales. Based on historic data, this happens roughly 5 times a year. This means that current annualized loss expectancy or ALE is 50,000. To fix this, the IT manager wants to buy a backup power system that costs $15,000 per year to maintain. Alright, with this new system, the team expects that the website will crash only once instead of 5 times. This brings the loss down to just $10,000. To find a return on security investment, you take the original 50,000 loss and subtract the new 10,000 loss, which shows a saving of $40,000 in avoided damages. All right, avoid damages avoided. Finally, what you do is you subtract the $15,000 cost of the backup system, because the final result is a positive $25. The security measure is considered a very smart business move. I hope you are able to understand how we calculated ROSI, return on security investment, and if it's a positive number, then it will be a better choice to discuss it with the board. Now let's move on to the next section, which is key performance indicators or KPIs. Senior leaders need clear evidence that a security program is meeting its long-term goals. KPIs are the essential tools used to judge how well a security system is performing compared to its original targets. While basic data might simply list a total number of issues, a KPI adds meaning by showing how those issues affect the business. For example, consider this scenario. Knowing you have 50 unpatched servers, knowing this is one thing, but knowing that 90% of your systems are updated within a week tells a much important story about your efficiency. These measurements work best when they are easy for everyone to understand. Now it's very simple. Let's take an example. Let's take another example, very simple, practical day-to-day example of our exams. You know, if a person appearing in an exam which has a total paper for 100 marks and this person scores 90 marks, another person appears for another paper where the total is 40, the total is 50 and that person scores 41. Now what do you feel is better? If you look at from this perspective, that okay, this person scored 90 out of 100, this will give a better picture. And if the person tells if he scores 41 out of 100, now these are comparable because we are comparing it, we are basically dividing it by the total marks. Now we are easily able to calculate percentages and all of that. But if the same person comes to you, person A tells you that they scored 90 marks, person B tells you, let's consider this as 49 marks. Now if person B comes to you and tells you that he scores 49 marks, you immediately think that person B performed worse than person A, because person A scored 90, person B scored 49. That is why it's very important to tell the context. In the earlier example of unpatched servers, if we say 50 servers are not unpatched, it doesn't sound to be a very valid figure because we don't know whether 50 is high or 50 is low. But if we are able to compare it with total failure, then yes, 90% seems to be a good figure or 90% seems to be a bad figure. We can make informed decision. Now moving on, to make this information useful for high level decision making, it is usually displayed on a visual dashboard or scorecards. These tools allows executives to see at a glance where the company is succeeding and where it needs to get better. Now let's test your knowledge. The next question is on the screen for you. Like always, you can pause the video, read the questions, go through the options, and note down what your thinking was. Ultimately, our exam is about selecting the right answer with the right thinking. All right. If you want more, if you want to read more, you can pause the video. I will straight away jump to the answer. The correct answer in our case is option C, because the ROSI formula is specifically designed to calculate the financial logic of a control by comparing the loss avoided against the cost of the defense. I hope you are able to understand this. Thank you so much. That is all for this video.